Hey everyone, this is Movie Trailer Trash. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Charlie.
And we just watched the trailer for Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, that's good.
That's right, baby. It's time for Movie Trailer Trash. Enjoy. Hello! We just watched the trailer for Assassin's Creed featuring Michael Fassbender and other people, I would assume.
And what's that girl from?
Oh, is that the French girl from Inception? No? Maybe?
Yes.
She looks like her.
Yes. I'm going to say confidently, but not too confidently.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the girl from Inception, I'm pretty sure.
The crazy
I knew I'd
wife.
seen her somewhere. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Is it Inception or is it...
No, yeah, she's in Inception. Yeah.
Yeah, where she drowns the kids. Spoiler.
Oh my goodness. First of all, spoiler, and second of all, you're wrong.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's
not what happens?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for me.
That is actually
Oh, Shutter Island.
Shutter Island.
Same thing.
Better thing.
Oh.
We'll get into that another time.
All right.
Okay, so initial thoughts. Since you play this game.
Well, let's put it out there officially. I played the first one.
Okay.
I was very young. Well, not very young, but pretty young.
High school? Or
and no, earlier than that, I think.
Middle school? Okay.
And I remember playing it, but I don't really remember a whole bunch of the story aspects of it. I remember jumping around and stabbing people because those were the fun parts. And then the ones that came later on, I played more so. So like the one with the American Revolution and the pirate one, and I like those ones a lot. But so like it's kind of good because I don't remember a whole bunch of the story. I remember little bits and pieces when they say stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. And so I'm going to try not to like give anything away.
Yeah.
But the games are amazing. And they're one of the reasons I don't want to give anything away is because it's like this crazy futuristic sci-fi, super complex, super confusing story that is really good and will probably be really good as a movie. And so I think this is one of the first ones, video game wise, that has real potential to be an actual good movie because it's a whole story. It's not just like they wanted to make a movie about Mortal Kombat because it was popular.
Well, yeah. But I would say that's not very fair because they made a Halo movie and Halo has an amazing story.
Yeah, that's true.
Halo is the first video game that I can remember
That movie
watching
was good.
somebody else play it and being like, oh, what's going to happen? Because
However,
it was that good.
That Halo movie that we watched, the one with the recruit or whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't the main one, I don't think.
That wasn't the story from Halo.
No.
It was like
but
in the
they've
universe.
done a Halo movie, right?
I think so.
But
I know they've done a show.
I don't think it went over well.
Steven Spielberg like directed a show about it, and I don't think it was super popular because Xbox did their thing where they just only if you have Xbox you can watch it. That's the only way, and so it probably went over poorly.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed. I don't play these type of video games. Full disclosure, I mostly play Mario, Sonic, any type of cute Nintendo game.
Side scroller.
Also, side-scrolling games, and also little puzzle apps like Candy Crush and Two Dots. So now everyone knows where I am.
Angry Birds for a little while.
Played that. I like the puzzle games.
What some would call a casual gamer. However, the anger that boils over.
I was gonna say it's not. I don't play it very casually.
Intense
so
casual gamer.
So now you know where I am as far as video games. Charlie does play these type of games.
But I play them on easy.
Yes.
Because I like the story more than I like the challenge of the game.
But he's played a lot of these kind of story games.
Yeah, Uncharted, Assassin's Creed.
And I would say, as the person who watches him play those games, that this is one of the more interesting ones to watch.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the visuals.
Yeah,
it's very visually
free running,
appealing.
Man.
Yeah.
The free running parkour, whatever you want to call it, where they're climbing up buildings and jumping between buildings is amazing. And that looked really good in this trailer,
It looked really good. However, the whole time I was just thinking, like, this looks just like they're not trying to make it look real at all. It looks like a video game.
Well, it's not supposed to be real. It's supposed to be in his head.
Yeah,
Their memories,
I guess.
You know,
I mean, but
the world is like created in his mind or something.
I understand that, but in the game, he looks the same as he does in his memories.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, I mean, like, I guess graphic wise, obviously,
well,
he is fake. So I expected it to look a little bit more
very
real,
stylized,
and it's very like shiny and
well, and also it kind of reminded me of 300 in the sense that like the filter is like over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everything's kind of dark orange and gold and whatever and brown, and
which I loved the way that 300 looked. So I mean, I thought it looked visually interesting,
and I thought it looked appropriate to the story that's being told. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, we keep pointing toward the
computer
that we watched it on. There
it is.
There it is.
You'll see it.
But yeah, I thought it looked visually beautiful, and Michael Fassbender, he looks like the guy from the video game already. Like
well,
he
yeah,
just
I mean,
does.
and also
he has the perfect look.
He's like a great actor, and that's something you don't get with video game movies.
Yeah.
You don't get great actors like that, and he is like a great actor. Like he's not like
he's great.
A big name.
I was gonna say
he's
I wouldn't have a lot of high hopes for this, but because he's in it, I'm like, if anyone can make it good, it would be him.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be super interested in it if it wasn't Michael Fassbender.
If it was a no-name person, then it would be a poorly made movie. Not because there aren't actors out there that haven't got their start yet that are good, but because if they got a no-name person, then that means they don't have the money that they need to really make it good.
Yeah.
If they have the money to get Fassbender, then they have the money to make it good.
Yeah, and that also means that he was interested in it. You know?
And that's another thing I was going to ask you. Do you think that he plays these games?
Maybe. I don't see him as a video game player. I see him as like an actor. You know what I mean? Like a thespian.
Yeah, he seems very like he seems to really love the art of acting, but you never know.
I bet he read the novelization of them.
Yeah. Probably, but I mean, people have their guilty pleasures. I can see him playing it.
Who doesn't? Kevin Spacey plays Call of Duty.
But okay,
Call of Duty.
I thought he looked awesome in the Assassin's Creed hoodie. Mm-hmm. For those of you who don't play the game, it's like this hoodie with like a point.
It's got a little point.
And it just looks so badass. I don't know why. It just looks so badass.
One little piece of fabric added to a regular hoodie makes it look amazing.
And I keep getting these ads on my Facebook for hoodies like that because at some point I must have looked it up. And every time I'm tempted to get one. But then I'm like, $30. I don't need that. But I don't know why they don't make all hoodies look like that just nowadays.
Well, and also another thing with this trailer.
Hoodie makers.
The thing with this trailer is that I think they did a really good job of fan service, you know, so like showing you all the stuff that you got to see in the you got to see in the game, and you know, nostalgia, whatever, and then but also intriguing an audience who has no idea what the story is going to be. They're just like, you woke up in this weird place and you have hooked up to this thing. I was gonna say, who is in charge of this? You know,
is this exactly the same story as the games?
I mean, again, it's been a while. And I don't want to give anything away, but it looks pretty close.
Well, because in the trailer, she's like, you were not assassinated. You were executed yesterday. And I'm like,
which is interesting.
I never knew that.
He becomes an assassin. He was executed.
But I never knew that. Like I knew when I watched, and the games that I watched weren't the original.
Right.
They were
you did.
Later
you watched
in the series.
The Revolution one and the pirate
one was great. But yeah,
a lot of people hated the pirate one.
Well, I love pirates
because of the story of it.
But yeah, so I would say this though. From what I knew, there was some sort of machine, kind of reminds me of the Matrix, where you hook up and it can take you into your ancestors' memories. And that's what she kind of explained, the main girl in the trailer.
I think
it's a weird concept.
It was a very well-made trailer with two exceptions.
Okay.
The first one is that like there's that weird part at the beginning that like shows you a bunch of things rapid fire, and then it shows you them again during the course of the trailer, which was odd.
That was
I don't know if that was meant to happen or if we got a weird video or something.
It looked like it was meant to happen.
But the second thing, which is the biggest problem, was that terrible song that they chose.
No! I was going to name that as one of the reasons I liked the trailer.
That song was awful. Was it Kanye?
It was good. I don't... Probably.
Sounded like Kanye.
I like Kanye.
And then there was that part where that guy was like yelling over it, and it was like out of tune and out of rhythm and stuff.
What are you talking about? I don't remember.
There's that part.
I just know he said, I'm a god, but I serve a god or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
it was
terrible
great.
Kanye monotone singing.
It was perfect for this trailer.
Didn't like it.
I loved it. It was so cool because he's like standing and surveying the land, and he is like a god, but he's serving other people. It works.
So there's that part. Okay. I don't know if the tone of this movie will be able to handle so that, you know, like when they go up to the top of the cathedral or whatever in the game,
I think
they go up to the top of the thing. He looks over, it updates your map. So, and then he jumps off like 100 stories into a bale of hay,
Yes.
like a little like
best part of the game.
trailer filled with hay, and he just lands on his back and just like hops out and keeps going.
He kind of rolls, but
Yeah.
the hay, it keeps him from dying
And
because
so,
it's soft, right?
I think that I don't know how they're going to do that with the tone of this movie, because they show him jumping off. He's obviously just going to do it once.
No. I think because I was thinking about that. Like, first of all, it seems like it would look ridiculous, but because they make it look so much like the actual video game, I think he could just jump off and land in the hay and roll just like in the video game and just go on as
And
if
no one
nothing
would
happened.
even care?
I think that maybe people who had never seen it would laugh, and I guess we kind of spoiled that for you if you've never seen it. But
Well, I mean, that it makes me laugh almost every time you do it.
so I think maybe people who've never seen it would laugh, or at least the very first time they would laugh. But if he just made it seem like that's just something you can do in this world, you know, people are willing to accept a lot when you're like, this is the world of this movie.
Yeah.
You know, people
I think the
will
first
accept a lot.
possibility may be like, you know, the girl will be like, if you see a truck full of hay, that means it's
No,
safe.
that would be ridiculous.
The second possibility is, I think that, which I thought might happen when I first saw it, was he lands and then in the hay and it's just like, oh, that probably should have killed me, and then hops out and goes along as like kind of a funny joke, recognizing it, whatever. But the tone of this movie
Doesn't
seems
look like
so
that.
dark and serious that I don't know if that would fit.
I was going to say that, though. I don't see a lot of humor in this.
No.
I don't think there will be
There's not a lot of humor in the game.
I feel like there shouldn't be, because I feel like it would feel out of place, because anyone who's played the game would be like, this isn't really the way it is.
Right.
It's an interesting story, but it's not really funny.
Well, yeah, they're not a very laughable bunch, the assassins.
They're going around assassinating people.
Pretty serious group of dudes and gals.
Yeah.
That girl was awesome. With
Okay,
the twin,
but I just have to
wrist
say, I
blades.
think that the best thing they could possibly do is have him just jump off that huge ass building into the hay, roll, and
just keep going. Like
don't
it's
even.
nothing.
Yeah, it's just the way that the world is.
That would be cool, actually.
I think it would look
now that
awesome.
I think about it.
And I mean, think about all of the things we accept that like Jason Bourne can do. Mm-hmm. Like Jason Bourne does stuff where you're like, and then you're just like, oh well, I guess he can do that, and then he goes on.
Yeah.
And that's just one example. James Bond.
Captain America, when he jumps out of the building, lands on his shield, and he's just good to go. Gets up and sprints.
Well, I mean, yeah, but he has that shield.
Yeah, he has vaguely
So-
described superpowers.
But he has that shield and strength. I mean, that makes a lot more sense than James Bond being able to sprint on a train and duck at the right times and all that. Mm-hmm. James Bond does crazy shit.
He does. But yeah, I think that because I think that would be the best way of handling it.
Yeah,
Because
this
it
is
would
just-
be, first of all, it would be kind of funny to the people who've played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who hadn't maybe wouldn't even notice. There's
they
potential
would,
that they would
you
barely
would
even
notice
notice.
if the very first time he did it was off of that, because they had
The
him like on
huge
the
one?
top of like a cathedral or something. Like if you were watching it and you had no idea that he could survive that, you'd be like, what is he doing? He looks, because they always dive. It's like they're diving.
It's a big swan dive,
It looks
and
like
then they
he's-
tumble. And
Yeah. But then you just be like, whoa, cool.
That was cool.
And then
yeah.
just go on. So yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting.
A little aside here, in The Other Guys. Do you remember The Other Guys? That's the movie, right? With
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Where they jump off.
In The Other Guys, they kind of make fun of that. And I don't know if they do that on purpose or whatever. They might just be making fun of other movies.
Yeah.
But certainly
Certainly not
who was
Assassin's
it?
Creed. It was Samuel Jackson and The Rock.
And The Rock. Okay. And they're just like, these supposed to be these badass cops. If you haven't seen The Other Guys, spoiler alert.
Spoiler for the first
It's really old.
10 minutes of
yeah,
the
it's
movie.
really old movie, and it happens really quick. But they're like, what are we gonna do now? We can't get out of the building. Head for the bushes, and they just jump off a huge building toward bushes.
Off the
and
top
then,
of
like,
a skyscraper.
The next thing you see is like something in the news where it's like 2 cops died
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, and I remember when I saw it, thinking like, this is ridiculous. And then when they died, it was funny because it was like, oh, they were so stupid. They thought the bushes would break their fall. And so that's every time I see them jumping into the hay, I'm just like, nope,
Yeah.
that doesn't work, guys.
Yeah. And so it's gonna be really cool to see what they include in the game. I mean, the stunts looked like they just took whoever recorded the stunts for the game and just had him do what he did
and
for the game.
I was gonna say,
it looks awesome, I think.
It looks great, and when I was watching it, because the whole time I'm thinking, like, I don't know if they can make this a quality movie. I just don't know, because it's hard, because even with a good story in a video game, it's just such a different medium. It's such a different medium that it's hard to translate it to movie. But when I saw, there's this one scene where it shows him fighting, like, with some weapons, and there's two people on either side.
That's the girl, I think.
Was that the girl?
The green?
No, there's a scene where, like, he's, like, down low. He's wearing gray. And anyway, he's fighting. There's people on either side. And I was just like, even if it's not a good movie, that stuff's going to look awesome.
Yeah. If everything else sucks, which I don't think it will, because that Fassbender is going to be good.
Yeah, he's at least going to do his best.
And
with
you
what
know
they
that
give
the
him.
story is already good. They might try and make it as complex in the game as it is in the game, which might be a mistake. And if everything else is terrible, the action will be amazing.
Yeah.
You can already tell.
Well, and they do have an assassin girl, which I like that.
And
That's
you can
cool.
also already
She
tell that
looks
the
cool.
camera, it just sits still and watches it. You know, it's not like while they're running.
Yeah. One of the reasons I'm not sure about the story is just because when I watch them, I never pay enough attention to really know what's happening. I know that you have to go back and solve some sort of mystery usually, right? Is that right? Kind of. And kill people or whatever. And then, like, there's the other world that's more like the Matrix where they show you and you're hooked up to machines. Okay, what did she say? Welcome to the Spanish Inquisition?
Mm-hmm.
Inquisition?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, which is why he was so surprised. It's a Monty Python joke. Just go on.
Okay. But anyway, when I saw that, I was just like, see, first of all, I don't know anything about the Spanish Inquisition. I'm sure I've learned about it before, but I didn't choose to retain it. And it never seemed that interesting to me.
I actually chose to forget it.
No, but it just never seemed that interesting to me. So, like, I don't know anything about it. And also, I don't really understand, like, is he supposed to be going back to solve a mystery? Like, I don't get why they need you to go into the memories of your ancestors.
Well, and that's
it's
great,
always been
though,
super confusing to me.
because that kind of makes you want to go see the movie, you know?
Yeah, I just don't feel like they can make it good. I feel like, what? It's such a weird concept. And I love sci-fi. I like that they're pushing the boundaries of science fiction.
It's
and
great.
Kind of whatever.
It's very confusing and maniacal, and the stakes are very high.
See, and that's what I don't get. I see, like, okay, whenever I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, so can you change the past while you're in this person's memory?
No.
So what's the point in going back? That's the thing
Finding
I don't understand.
information.
So you can't change the past, but you can put yourself in places that person wasn't?
No. I don't know.
Ugh.
I don't know.
See,
it was a long time ago.
Look, the point is, it's confusing, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, that being said, let's go ahead and move on to how, when, where you're going to see this movie. Where? When? How? Are you going to see this movie?
I'm not sure. I don't have any strong feelings about it, but I think that it would probably be more enjoyable in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's so action packed, and like how we were talking about, like, it looks like 300.
Yeah.
300 was great in theater, in my opinion. I watched it at home, not as great. Just not. I mean, it was still good. I like 300.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful in theater. It was beautiful.
I never saw it in theaters.
Oh man.
I only saw
You
it
missed out.
At home.
Well, it's just when you have that many abs on the screen.
Oh, okay.
You want it to be
Now we get down
big.
to it.
But no.
Which, by the way, speaking of which, Fassbender looking scrawny in this one.
He's a skinny guy, though.
I guess. But
He's
I mean,
always
like,
been a skinny guy.
usually, and that's kind of another reason why I think that it would be good. Usually in a movie, they make you, beef up to be like an action star lead role type scenario. And in this one, they're just like, well, no, that's not how that guy
Yeah, that's
was.
not how that guy looks.
Yeah, so.
I'm interested. So how will you see it?
I don't really want to spend the money on it to go to the theater.
Especially if it's, yeah.
I could if there's some sort of deal, maybe if we're not doing something during the day. But I think that I'll probably end up renting it. I'm sure that I'll probably get, read the reviews and stuff like that.
That'll help us know what we want, whether or not we want to see it.
Yeah,
really.
and so I'll figure out if I want to rent it or not. And I
like
hope
that they're
it's
making it. I like that they're trying. It might be awesome. Who knows? But I agree. I think that if we go see it in the theater, it'll be like a Wednesday night Alamo Drafthouse special.
Ooh, Alamo Drafthouse special, folks.
Shout out to Alamo Drafthouse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because, you know, every once in a while, since we're on there, what's that? We got the special
Victory Rewards member.
We got the special membership card. Every once in a while, they'll be like, hey, it's a Tuesday. Do you want to come see this half price? I'm there. For this one, I'm there.
Absolutely.
Especially because that'd be fun on a weeknight. But yeah, so if not, I could see renting it.
I definitely am going to. Well, first, I hope they re-release the first game. First of all.
Oh yeah, they probably
PS4.
will. I don't see them not trying to make as much money as they can.
Yeah,
off of
well,
that.
they did that with Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
That came out just because that movie was coming out, which I heard was terrible. But the game is still great. And so I hope they re-release it. If they don't, I'm gonna try and figure out a way to play it. And
there's so much money in
I'll
that.
probably enjoy that more than I'll enjoy the movie. But the movie could be really good.
Just a little aside about Ratchet and Clank. For those of you who don't know, that's like a kid's video game, action adventure. Has like a little fox, right? A little fox guy and a robot.
It's a Lombax.
Okay, and a robot. So they recently came out with a movie that we heard was terrible. And the thing is, like I said before, I am a Mario girl. I'm a big Mario girl. And I love Mario, but if they made a movie, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like,
oh, they have.
Yeah, I know. And I was thinking, like, even if they tried really hard, like even if they spent a bunch of money, you can't make a good Mario movie. I don't believe that it's possible.
No, it's not. Especially Mario. There's no story in Mario.
Well, yeah, and if you try to add a story, it's weird.
Yeah, no one wants to see...
Because he's cute and little.
No one wants to see narrative added to Mario.
The only way you can do a Mario movie is if it's for little kids.
And 4 minutes long.
Even though, like, there's lots of cartoons that are for little kids that adults like too. I just don't think you can do it with those kids' video games.
Yeah.
So it's a sad realization because I love it, but they just can't do it.
No, it's not possible.
Well, also because I was thinking about this movie, I was thinking like this is a great way to make money as a game franchise. To say, hey, we're going to give you the rights to make this big movie if we get like some of the profits, and then put that money into making the next game and make the next game really awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that.
Probably not.
They've been getting worse and worse for a
but,
while. So like everyone thought that Black Flag was the start of it getting bad.
And that's the pirate one?
That's the pirate one. And then since that one, there's been the French one where everyone had a British accent.
Yeah, but that seemed, I mean, the game seemed okay.
It
was weird that they had British accents.
The London one, the one in London, which I kind of wanted to play, but I heard not great reviews about it. And I don't know, the story just gets muddier and muddier as you go along, as you try and stretch it out.
So maybe they will take the money from this and make the next one better, though.
Maybe. I bet they'll just take the money from it to like really remaster the first one.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, so I was thinking about that with this one, and I was thinking, man, because Nintendo, they're failing me, man.
Yeah.
They're failing me big. And
they're running out of steam a little bit.
I don't want them to die because they're the only video games I really like. Yeah. So Nintendo, get it together, because you can't make a Mario movie to make money.
Or
it won't work.
Or sell your rights to someone.
Yeah, just let somebody else do it and do it great. Because I can't handle that there's like
sell
how many Assassin's Creed games are there?
Like 10.
Like 10 Assassin's Creed games. There's like, okay, now a lot of Mario over the years, but for like...
For the newest system.
For the newest system, there's like 2.
Right.
What? And actually, no, there's one for the Wii and then one for the Wii U. Why do I have to wait for a whole new system to get a whole new game? Every other game for PlayStation and Xbox, sorry, I'm going on a rant, soapbox. For PlayStation
Xbox,
and Xbox, every year they come out with a new Madden. Every year they come out with maybe an Assassin's Creed type game or another story game. And what do I get from Nintendo?
Yarn Yoshi.
I'm just waiting.
All right, let's move on to the guessing the Rotten Tomatoes percentage. Rotten Tomatoes percentages. Aye!
Rotten Tomatoes.
Boom.
This is a difficult one because, like you said, most video game movies
get shat on.
Yeah, and not because people are being harsh, but because they're bad.
Yeah, most of the time.
I would say this one will probably do better than most, but I'm thinking just because it's based on a video game, It probably won't get too much higher than something in the 60s.
I was going to say between 60 and 65. Mm-hmm. And then...
And that's if it is good. If it is good, I think it'll get in the 60s.
Right. It always has the chance of just being like a 35%.
It might just be terrible.
Bombshell.
But if it's good, I don't think it's going to get 80%. I don't think that's possible for this type of
This is going to be
movie.
really hard to predict for audience members. Because
Yeah.
you're going to have probably a good 30 to 40% of the audience that has never played the game before. Mm-hmm. The majority of the audience will have played the game. And if it is different in any way, they're going to hate it. Because that's what they do.
Yeah, and if it's the exact same, they're going to be bored.
And if it's the exact same, they're going to be bored, they're going to love it still. Yeah. Just like, you know, with superheroes.
Yeah.
And the people who haven't seen it, if it is bad, confusing, slow, too dark, whatever, are going to hate it. So, like,
I don't know. I feel like it takes a little patience.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, they're taking something where you spend hours and hours playing this game.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and put it into a, 2-hour movie?
Yeah, maybe.
And so it's such a complex thing. It takes a lot of time. So the patience that you have to really get to the story in the game, I don't know how they're going to put all of that into one thing and make it something that you can follow. So yeah, it'll be tough.
Yeah.
Audience probably, I think the same. I don't think the audience is going to give it higher than 60, 65.
I think if it's good.
If it's really good,
if
maybe
it's good,
all the fans.
critics will give it 64 and audience will give it 72.
Okay.
If it's bad, the critics will give it 31 and the audience will give it 55.
And Charlie loves to guess those numbers, so we promise that eventually we'll come back and do some recaps on how accurate he was.
How perfectly correct I was.
With his ridiculous guesses.
Oh, a lot of research time goes into that.
Estimations. But yeah, okay, so
there you go.
This has been Movie Trailer Trash.
Thank you for showing up for our very first YouTube episode. I'd like to thank the people at Entertainment Buffet for giving us a chance. That's where we're going to be. Subscribe to them, rate, review, whatever it is that you folks do on the interwebs. We have our Twitter, which is at mttpodcast.com. That's where we put all the updates and everything.
MTT.
Podcast. And then I said .com for whatever reason.
It's just not .com.
It's just at MTT Podcast. That's where we put the updates. Whenever either of us writes a blog, that'll be up there. Mm-hmm. All of the audio episodes will be up there. We're only doing about 2 a month, video wise. Mm-hmm.
And we have, I don't know, 20 some odd.
30 now.
Oh, 30. Yeah. 30 audio episodes. So go to mttpodcast.com.
There it is.
That's what he was talking about there. That's where you can see all of our old episodes or listen to all of our old episodes.
Yeah. And then subscribe on iTunes, rate on iTunes, review on iTunes, do everything.
Like us, share us with your friends.
Whatever. Make a sandwich out of us.
Or just listen to us and decide whether or not you want to go to the movies.
That's good too.
Because that's really what we're all about.
That's the heart of it.
That's the heart of it. All right. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.